as a person with albinism who is white in a predominantly Black community, I face it rough. So, how did my journey begin? Two instances began my journey, and a seed was planted in me. First, I was straight out of high school, and here there is a long time before you get an opportunity to join college or university. And I was doing some small business. I was hawking, sort of selling products on the road, and I was very tired, hungry, and this young girl, like I still have her image in my head. She called me a derogatory name, how you term a person with albinism in a local language, and I was so offended that I slapped the hell out of her. I literally slapped the life out of her, and she fell on the ground and she started crying, and she could not retaliate or fight back. And there was a standers by, and this standard by asked me, "Do you think slapping that child is going to change anything?" Those words were more painful than what the child had called me. And as I walked back home, I asked myself if fighting everybody who calls me names that I do not like is not going to answer or is not going to be the solution to what I am facing, then what is going to be the solution? And definitely, I'm not the only person with albinism in Kenya. Or even though I was the only person who in the community was known, I was asking myself, what are other persons with albinism going through, not only here in Kenya, but across East Africa and the whole of Africa? And I continued pondering on that question. And the second instance that sort of joins the dots, I get this mentor who introduces me to media. He was a former TV film director in one of the media stations in the country, and he had a movie shop. We have these movie shops that sell movies in Kenya. I used to be a frequent of his studio, and he introduced me to this concept of writing stories. He was like, "Oh, Alan, you're quite eloquent. And have you ever thought about doing X, Y, and Z?" I'm like, I'm just straight out of high school. I do not have any knowledge. And he was like, "Okay, let me show you a little bit things around video editing, and let me introduce you to cameras. Let me introduce you to story writing." And as he was taking me through this journey, I was also reminiscing on what had happened a couple of months ago, and I joined the dots. I told myself, probably if I am able to put my voice out there to talk about the challenges or to talk about the person I am, then it will be able to educate the community to understand what albinism is really about. And we will be able to demystify the myths that are around albinism and sort of fight the derogatory names that persons with albinism are called. And I felt excited, but of course, it is a profession that you cannot just go into with passion alone. So when I got the opportunity to join college, first thing that I chose, the first choice diploma or degree I had was a degree in journalism and media studies, and that's how the journey began. But I realized the skills alone or the knowledge alone is not going to be enough. Yes, I can tell stories, but how else can I amplify my voices? Because at that point, I'm still the only one that I know with albinism. Go to a primary school of 1,000 kids, you're the only different child in that school. Go to a high school with over 2,500 students, and you're the only person that looks like yourself in the community. And go to a college that has over 3,000, 4,000 students, and you are the only odd one out. I will use odd one out for lack of a better expression. And I asked myself, this is no work that I'm going to be able to do alone. And right in the corridors of college, Black albinism was born. And it was born on the precipice of creating a short film that was called The Rejected Treasures, because basically what I wanted to show, I guess, is that within us, there are abilities or there are treasures that we can be able to, or there is some value that we can be able to bring to the community, so that we are looked beyond our disabilities, so that people can respect us in that sense. And I put together a team of classmates, and they were very open to this. And as I started engaging with the community, because now college gives you more access, you start meeting somebody who knows another person with albinism, and that's how I started connecting the dots. And I think this is also where the issue of leadership starts coming in for me. When I wanted to start Black Albinism, I initially never wanted to start my own organization, but I believed in the power of not reinventing the wheel. joining organizations that already exist. But unfortunately, the organization that already existed did not want to take in young, energetic people because we would sort of question the way of doing things. So I was disappointed at that particular time, but I had to take up the courage now to start my own organization. And that's how Black Albinism was born. And we started this work. And ever since, it has been amazing. I've never looked back. And I've gotten opportunities to meet even some of the guys who have put this webinar together. I would like to give a shout out to Madi. We connected in 2022, and I think this also will come very important in some of the other questions that we're going to be discussing about international collaboration and all of that. Yeah.